2003 Mini Cooper. Let's get this door lock off of here. There's the inside of the door, all the appendages. All this stuff's got to come off. We're going to start on the edge of the door though. Behind that little rubber piece, little Torx. We get that out and we're already on our way. This is one of many screws that has to come out. Inside the door, at least the panel, you got 3 screws that's got to come out. Another Torx. Probably like my little tool here. The thing is if you guys see tools around that you need or you like, you should pick them up. I use a magnet sometimes to pull them out after I unscrew them so deep. Okay, there it is. All the screws are removed. Now we got to get these appendages off of here. Speaker cover, door handle cover. These things are made of plastic. They snap in, so they snap out. Just like that. Everything's removed except for this one. You may forget this one, but there's a screw behind there and it's got to come out. Door panel tool will actually do the trick to loosen this panel so you can pull it off. These things come off like a Honda. See that? Nice and loose. And as you can see, the door was held in by these little clips here. It's plastic fasteners. But let's get inside, because that's really where the problem is. Taking a look and see what we got. Anchor on the right for the forward latch, left. You see window track operator to the rear, the door lock, tailpiece, screw up top that has to come out. Another Torx. This is one of my favorite inside door operating tools. Yeah, now we get that forward anchor off of there. Now this latch outside handle has to come off, and you'll see why here in a second. You got to expose that lock cylinder. Be careful. See that little spring? Know where it comes from, know where to get it back to. Let's get it this lock. Use a little whistler here. You can see the back of the door inside. There was a screw right there that has to come out. You can see how that cable wraps and winds around. That cable attaches to that outside handle. Just taking a real good look because it's real tight working in there. There's a cable that goes to the outside handle. See how it comes in through the lock. The tailpiece actually attaches to the cylinder. Now, here's a better picture of the inside here. Latch assembly, latch mechanism, actuator. There's a linkage right there. Now you can see where the outside latch handle cable attaches to the bottom of that lock mechanism, runs up through that plastic piece, and it goes out through the lock. Pay attention to that screw. You see it up at the top? That had to come out in order to release that outside handle. There's the back of the lock cylinder right there. Got to take the latch mechanism off. These 3 screws. There I go, taking it off. Now I gotta take that screw off that's up top, and I'm using this whistler here so that I can do it without trying to lean my head into the door. That's where that screw that we were taking out anchors at. Now we got all the bolts out. See how loose that is? We don't have a key, so it's got to turn in order to come out. So there's the outside handle with cable. And we also have our door lock out now. That's what that baby looks like. See, there's that screw that we were looking at. There's the tailpiece right there. You can see why we had to turn it to take it out. And then there's the screw that we were loosening. So now back here at the shop, looks like we really got our work cut out for us to take this lock apart now. I showed you all of the other aspects of it, but to take it apart, we're going to be removing this pin that's in here, and tailpiece will come out, and then we'll slide the lock out of the front, and we'll show you as we go. This pin here, we're driving this pin out. Now, once you get the pin pulled so you can pull the tailpiece out, then there's a little another little piece that has to come out, this piece here. So that this comes out. I don't know what all the names of every single part is, but you can get the idea basically on what we're doing here to take this lock apart. And then once you get that out, you see, then we can go further to be able to remove the plug. Now what's holding this plug in this cylinder is a little clip, and I'm going to use a pick to pull it out. And once we pull that out, that plug should slide out, and you can see here it's just a clip. And so we're going to raise it up now and pull it out. Here we go. Nice and easy does it. I'm using a little hook pick here. It's not difficult at all. There it is, right there. Let's see, we can adjust things here so you can see it. There you go. And then this piece here comes right off. See, so you take that off. That holds a return spring, as you can see there. Set everything up in order, and now we're ready to push this lock out and cut the key for it. So it comes right out of there just like that, nice and easy. There it is. Set that housing out of the way. Okay, just so you know what we're doing here, it's easier once you get this plug out, just pick it, and it's easier to pull this little deal here off, so you got direct access to all of your tumblers, and then you can decode and cut your key, whatever you got to do. You can do that with no problem. That's easier. So that's what we're going to do, the easy thing. Once again, each one of these tumblers have a depth on them, so you got eight chambers with 8 different tumblers with depths in them, and the tumblers, each one, like I said, has a number on there. Second chamber is a number 1. So after decoding this plug right here, my bitting came up to, from the bow to the tip, spaces 1 through, or chambers 1 through 8 came up to 331221111. So we can determine what code that actually is, but at this point it doesn't even matter. What matters is that we cut a key that reflects each one of those particular cuts in those spaces, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, now
The key blank that we're looking at here is a HU66, a key blank for a Volkswagen type of lock from 1999 and up. You can see how the land is on the right side of the key. Well, the key that we're going to, or the blade that we're looking at cutting for this kind of car is an HU92, and you can already see where the land is just the opposite. It's on the left of the key, left top of the key blade, that is. So requires a different vise, a different setup, but the actual width and depth of the cuts are the same for both keyways. So we're going to be setting up a machine to cut these keys.
So it looks like we've got change of vise, so we can cut this HU92, and we're going to use this vise right here.
So we've got the vise changed, and now we're going to put in our test blank that we're going to use to make the cuts on. This is how the test key looks. That's our laser cutter there. We've made all of the necessary cuts that we determined by decoding and looking at each one of those tumblers there. We put them in the right spots. Now we're going to test this and see if it works on this plug here to make sure before we try to slap everything back together and go barreling down the road. Here we go. We grab the bull by the horns all the way. That's what you get is a lock that's where all of the tumblers, which actually make up what they call the bidding, or just like that. Notice now, while we're putting everything back together here, we want to make sure that before we pop that tailpiece back on, that we test operate this key to make sure she operates.